I am so giddy. This Ducati, 2020 Ducati Multistrada 950S. Look at this. Been waiting on this bike for 6 months. I'm kind of surprised at how easy these tires feel on the road, because you can tell they're made for riding off the road. Thought these would be a little rougher. Being on the freeway for a little while now, I was surprised when I went from 5th to 6th gear at the juice it had when I goosed the throttle. 950, I mean, it's not a small motor by any means, but you know, you compare it to the 1260, there's plenty of power for the freeway, obviously for off-road. I am in sport mode, just so you see. It's got several different modes. Coming across the 78 East, taking the back way home. All told, we're probably going to have done, I don't know, 80, 90 miles for today. I'll be taking it out a few more times before I return it, but I really like it. I really do. I don't mind the knobbies at all. You know, there's a little vibration like you would expect, because you can change the tires out if you want to be more street friendly, more road friendly. But I think I'd keep these on just for the fact that I can go off on some dirt road if I want to. 11 miles out of Ramona. We'll head through there and down the 67. So after riding this for a while, as you would expect, the knobbies, I call them knobbies anyway, they provide a little vibration so that your butt and all that, you do feel it after a while, and then your hand here. But nothing I could not get used to very quickly. And for me personally, I like this bike enough so far that the fact that I could go on and off the road would be enough for me to want this bike. I do notice that sitting up straight, because I tend to slouch the longer I ride, and then I remember, oh yeah, shoulders back, sit up, because it's a great seating position on this bike. It takes a lot of the pressure off my hands. So your wrist won't go numb, hand won't go numb, and if you're used to it anyway, you know, this is your style of bike, then that probably wouldn't happen, but I like it. Here we are. Gonna hang out with Dave Stahl and the crew here at KUSI. Good morning, San Diego.
If you're in the market for a motorcycle, you got to check out what we have on our patio.
Yeah, KUSI auto expert Dave Stahl hanging out with his good friend Clint August, the motorcycle monkey man. How you guys doing?
We're doing absolutely fantastic. And boy, I tell you what, talk about perfect weather for motorcycles. And this is one, if you get tired of traffic, hit the right turn signal and go off-road. So Clint, have you had this thing off-road yet?
I haven't. I'm gonna actually do it on Monday.
Aren't you looking for somebody that wants to go for a ride with you?
I am, in fact. Email me, clint@101kgb.com or the Clint August Facebook page. Please, I want a trail that we can go off maybe on Monday or Tuesday morning before I start work on KGB. But yes, this thing, so funny you say that, Dave, because all I thought about, I just rode up to San Marcos yesterday, across the 78 and back down the 67.
Oh yeah.
And all I thought about were the hills. I'm like, there's a road I can take. There's a road I can take. This thing is awesome.
Yeah. And it's set up to do exactly that. You can do both. You got the massive boxes on the back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, which are a little on the large side, but if you need to carry a lot of capacity, decent, and I think they're aluminum if I'm not mistaken.
These are, they're definitely tough. Here's the thing, you can take them on and off.
Right.
So if you don't want them, that's fine. Now they are really wide, so I wouldn't be splitting lanes at all if you're riding with this, but this is good for touring. This is good for on the road, off the road, as you indicated. This is the 2020 Ducati Multistrada 950S model. Dave, right out of the gate, man, you can get the standard 950. Okay, not this model,
right,
but the one right just below it. They start in the 14,000s, and that's a really reasonable price for this type of bike. This one starts in the 17,000s. Then you have the 1260. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's like the Ferrari of motorcycles.
It is, and I was shocked when I started reading the specs and learning. And then you got the 1260, but this thing right here is about 512 pounds, fully ready to go. Not with the bags, loaded.
Right.
But it's got a 5.2 or 3 gallon tank, so I figure you can get over about 200 miles on a tank here. And it's got it's got a liquid cooled L cylinder motor. Mm-hmm. And this thing, it's tall for me. You got to be careful. 33.9 inches on the high seat setup.
Yeah.
On the low seat setup, it can go to 31.3. So there is some adjustment there.
Well, and that just goes back to, if you're going to buy a motorcycle, you got to go try it out. You got to see if you fit, because not every motorcycle has the same height.
Agreed.
Some are adjustable, some are not. This one may not fit. You'd have to just keep looking through the model line till you found one that did.
I call this the road warrior bike. I figure if this is something that the world comes to an end, this is probably what
First
you're
thing
going to
you're
want
going
to
to do is run to a Ducati store and steal this one.
or no, you're going to buy it.
No, because it's going to be
end of the world.
Look, yeah, end of the world. Just go jump on it and take off, man.
So, yeah, I rode this yesterday. This is such a comfortable bike on the road. Even with these tires, you get used to it after a while. But you got your TFT display, several different riding modes. And this thing really is made, as I said, I want to make sure I emphasize, you can tour on this.
Right.
You can tour on this.
Oh, yeah.
You can go off the road, and I am going to do that Monday or Tuesday. Again, I hope somebody wants to show me a road, because that's just not my forte, but I do want to try it. Now, this also has hop control.
Right.
So it's real smooth on the clutch, and this way, and it also has quick shift, where if you're in a spot and you're off the road and you don't want to use the clutch, you can actually shift it. It's called quick shift, Ducati quick shift.
Sure.
It has all of this, and the suspension, it actually can adjust itself as you ride automatically to where it's like, oh, you're off the road, let's switch it. Oh, you're on the road, let's switch it. That's incredible.
Yeah, and well, the technology that they've gotten into these motorcycles is just really insane. And to keep the price at a price point that's doable. I mean, this should be a $20,000, $30,000 bike, really.
And that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So you do, again, they start in the 14,000s. GP Motorcycles right here in San Diego has a good selection. And again, you start in the 14s with the base model, then you have the S that starts in the 17s, then up to 23s and above when you get to the 1260. But this 950 is plenty of power. I goosed this on the freeway.
Sure.
And it was at about 5,200 RPMs at about 80. And I don't take bikes much faster than that, especially one I don't own.
I'm like you, I'm like you.
But it really had some jump, and I was shocked by this.
Yeah. Well, we'll be interested to see what you thought after going off-road. All right, folks, we're going to see if we can get him to get back on this thing and go find a little patch of dirt that he can go play around in.
Yes.
And other than that, we're going to go ahead and throw it back to you guys, because we're going to go riding.
Well, that was a fun one. Thanks to Dave and the crew there at KUSI. You know, there's something I forgot to mention on the TV that I really wish I would have, is hold control. You know, it's like hill assist on some other bikes. It just sort of holds your brake just a little bit, so it helps you when you're trying to start on a hill without lugging or stalling the motor. You're going to notice I'm going to switch gears here, lower my gear to first without my clutch. That's my left hand. That is Ducati Quick Shift.
I want to show you a little bit about what this display can do. It's pretty incredible, actually. So you can see it's the menu. It's 89 degrees outside. You've got 389.1 miles on the first trip, on the tripometer. 32 miles per hour was my average speed. My trip time was 2 hours, 24 minutes. Again, I was going around the city a lot. 74 miles on the other tripometer, but this is cool. 38.1 miles per gallon on that trip. 163 miles left on the tank. So I'm just scooting through the menu here for you. Another feature on this is load mode. Do you have a single rider? Is it you plus a passenger? Do you have baggage? And it's real simple to just thumb through this menu. Trust me, if I can do it, anyone can do it. I love this display and all the technology on this Ducati. All right, now we're looking at service. The center of your screen, you see Desmo service. So basically, that is Ducati engines. They all use something called Desmo. It's actually Desmodronic, and it refers to the way that a poppet valve inside of an engine is controlled. Now, this is a very involved service. Then, of course, you saw your oil service and then your annual service. We are to miles per hour. If you want to change to kilometers per hour, there's all kinds of different things on this menu. You want to change your temperature readout to Celsius. I don't know why you would. I prefer Fahrenheit. Now, depending on where you are in the world, in the USA, you want miles per gallon. Of course, there's miles per gallon in the UK, kilometers, liters. Now, how do you want your display to look? Your backlight, do you want it to be auto? So if it senses that it's getting darker, it goes brighter. Do you want to choose whether it's night or day? And if you're into actually tracking your laps, you can even do that. You've got your PIN code. To change that, you can modify it, of course. That's really simple. So you've got your different modes here, your track mode, full mode, city mode, off-road, and your riding modes. Of course, you have your sport, your touring, urban. You've got enduro. Now check this out. You go into your engine mode, right? Do you want reduced power? Do you want a smooth ride? Do you want full power with dynamic range for on and off the road? It's insane what this thing can do. Even your tires can be set for off the road, on the road, for wet conditions. And this is an enduro, as you can see in the upper left portion of your screen. Each mode has several different settings. Now with your suspension, how do you want it in the front? You want it medium, harder, hardest? Do you want it softer or softest? And then you go to the back. So you're looking at comfort or performance or somewhere in between. So you can customize the rear and the front separately from one another with your suspension. Well, that's going to do it for the Ducati on the road. The next video, my buddy John Kemp shows me some trails off the road. Please subscribe to Motorcycle Monkey on YouTube, share it with your friends, and click the bell icon in the upper right-hand corner of your screen to get notified when I have new videos. And if you've got a bike you'd like me to review, please let me know in the comments below. I will do my best to get it done for you. Please ride safely. I'll see you on the next one.